Sometimes a potential project comes along that is just so difficult, so treacherous, so overwhelming that nobody wants to touch it. But some see the rewards, it's just too hard to resist the challenge. This is Before and After. We follow the build of an iconic house at the top of a hill in Bronte, Sydney. And we see how these guys achieved the monumental task of transforming this into this. This enviable location is home to millionaires, film stars and local surfers alike, all paddling out together and hoping to catch the wave of the day. Imagine waking up to a view like this. And here on the hill, on the highest point in Bronte, the views don't get any better than this. But to take advantage of this, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of work to be done. I meet Elvis Mardini, who's one of the team that's taking on this monumental challenge.
It's a block of units.
It looks absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
You can definitely say it looks terrible at the moment, but give it about a year, it won't be terrible anymore. Currently, it is a block of units, 3 stories. We're going to turn it into one house. It's a very intricate and I guess very sensitive project, this one. I must admit I'm suffering a little anxiety before we begin.
Why is that?
We're going to build a tunnel through here.
Now, it's not the tunnelling that's got Elvis anxious. Mardini Constructions are no stranger to this type of access innovation. It's the size of the tunnel that has Elvis fearing the task at hand.
It's a very long tunnel. It's a 17-metre long tunnel to get into the house. And then we've got to tunnel up a lift shaft as well. One of the most important items of this house is the engineering. We've got an engineer on board called Richard Webber, who is going to be very, very closely involved in the project. Yeah. It's a very difficult project, let's face it. You know, safety is crucial on this project. The problem with this house is access. Currently, you've got to walk up this side street and up the ramp to get into the house. It's a very long way. It's probably about 50 metres to get into the house.
That's crazy.
What we're going to do now with the tunnel, you'll be able to drive in, hopefully between 6 and 8 cars.
Yep.
Walk through an exposed rock tunnel.
Yep.
And then take the lift into the house.
Mate, this is pretty ugly.
It's not that bad, is it?
It's pretty bad. That is absolutely amazing.
Thank God you like something, mate.
The only thing I like about this place is that view. This is also why the owners took up the challenge. Peter and Nadia are Bronte locals and have found the ultimate Bronte project. Nadia's company, Create, have renovated a number of houses in the area and have achieved some amazing examples of contemporary coastal design. But this house is different. This house they are designing and building for themselves, their own family home. And it just might be their most difficult project to date. Okay, let's go through the pressure points one more time. First, the tunnel. This will create the new garage area and lead to the new lift up into the residence. To put the lift in, the roof will be taken off and the shaft excavated down to meet the tunnel. The complete inside of the building will be stripped out to make 3 open new levels, with 2.5 metre cantilevered concrete balconies off the front. Plus, out the back, level with the top floor, is a location for a new pool, dug completely out of solid rock, and there's no machine access here. The whole demolition will have to be done by hand. Well, we'd better get started. Coming up, the demolition begins, and later we can reveal the finished home, and the results are absolutely breathtaking. We're in Bronte to watch the renovation of this 1960s block of flats turn into a single dwelling masterpiece. The next time we visit, the site has a lot of changes. Elvis brings us up to speed.
Excavation of the rock has begun. As you can see, we've begun the excavation of the pool today. I actually completed the excavation of the basement. Now we've come down about 500 millimetres, all done again by hand. Very, very solid rock. And tomorrow we begin the excavation of the lift shaft. We've cut out the lift shaft, but tomorrow we literally begin the excavation lift shaft, which is 10 metres deep, and that's going to be done by hand as well, by jackhammers.
Now all this material has to be taken off site somehow. With no machine access at all up here, the team have had to improvise. Can you believe this whole demolition has been achieved by hand? The next pressure point will be the 3-metre cantilevered concrete balconies, another crucial engineering feat to get right.
Now what we're going to do, we're going to cut back 2.5 metres from the walls back. All those walls will be removed and the veranda, existing veranda, taken out as well. We're going to form brand new concrete. We're going to pin the Rio back into the concrete and fill with epoxy resin. This will stabilise the balcony from movement.
And out the back, work is just about to start on the pool excavation. This job will take a bit of muscle.
Unfortunately, this pool has to be dug up by hand. The reason is because we can't bring a machine up here. There is no access on this site whatsoever. There's about 65 cubes of rock that needs to be removed out of this pool, which is an enormous amount by hand excavation, and it is very, very strong rock. So the only way to dig this rock is to use the best tools. And to me, the best tools are the Hilti tool.
2 months later, and the excavation of the pool is complete. Elvis is excited about the progress.
Today is a real pivotal day. We've completed the pool excavation and we're pouring concrete today. We're going to begin the roof construction, which is a real major part of this project as it stabilises and braces the building. We've completed the lift excavation. We've excavated 10 metres deep. And today we're going to begin the tunnel excavation. So it's a really important day for us today. The access has been very difficult. We've got literally no access whatsoever. Today is the first day that we're actually going to be able to use a machine. That's why I think it's a real triumph. The hand excavation, we're up to about 600 cubes of material that's been removed by hand, which is an enormous task. I think it's taken its toll once. It's been, as I said, it's been a lot of excavation by hand. We're all human. I mean, we all get tired. It's like, I guess, running a marathon, but that's why I said today is real triumph in the sense that, look, we have achieved so much. Look, I feel so proud of my boys because I know they're tired. I know we've all got tired legs and, you know, but this is the next stage. It's very exciting now. At least we can get some machinery now.
After the break, we meet the owners and later we reveal the finished home in all its glory. We're here in Bronte to watch this transformation of this block of flats turn into a single dwelling residence, complete with a tunnelled out garage and glass lift that comes up into the house. Owners Peter and Nadia are very experienced developers, and this is the 10th renovation by Nadia's company Create. But this one is different. This will be their family home. Now, you're a designer in your own right, and you've got your own design business, haven't you?
I do.
It's called Create.
Create, yes.
So what do you do exactly?
So I normally like to purchase an old rundown home.
What you've done here?
Yes. Well, this was a block of apartments, but yeah, an old rundown home and design it from inside to out. Take it through to council. I usually use a draftsman to help me draw it all up.
Yeah.
And then I also love to furnish it at the end because that's how I started, was interior design.
Well, this is going to be great because this is actually your own home this time that you're actually staying in.
So exciting. So it was on the market for a while because people didn't want to take on the challenge of tunnelling in order to create garage space.
And put a lift up.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of people were scared about the cost of all that. So we engaged a really good friend who is also an engineer and asked him could he take a look and where he thinks it might be placed as far as financially for us.
The engineering to this job will be the key to its success, and luckily they have the best of the best on board. Structural engineer Richard Webber, whose credits include the Sydney Opera House underground car park, and rock mechanic John Braybrook, who cut his teeth on the Snowy Mountain scheme. Richard takes us through the engineering involved in the project.
The load from this building in the context of rock cover and the span, tunnel span to depth of rock cover is almost inconsequential. That's the least concern that I or the builder or the owners would have on this job, is that the effect of the building and its load on the stability of the tunnel. The main concern, and therefore the element on this structure that requires most diligence in design and construction are the balconies. Those balconies are reaching out 2.5 metres, and we are linking new balcony construction with an existing structure. It's a task that needs to be done with a great deal of care. I need to be conservative in the design, and I have to inspect the work to be absolutely certain that it can carry at least regulation loads, but in this case it'll carry a lot more than regulation loads.
Are you enjoying it, or is it becoming a bit too stressful?
Look, I think it's a combination of both. I think there's so much enjoyment in doing it, but there's a lot of stress along the way. You know, every decision has to be made by us real time. Nadia's here on the job virtually every day. You know, it's total project management day in, day out.
This will indeed be a one-of-a-kind home, and a home of the future with a complete home automation system going in. We find out more from Brendan how this works.
Behind me here will be a colour touchscreen. You can control your whole house from the one point basically. So anything electrical we can control, and then we also have the Wiser application as well, which you can use your iPhone or your iPad or Android. As you're walking past, if you need to go downstairs, you can turn your lights on in the bottom. If someone's coming up to the front gate, you could unlock it. You could push one button, turn music on, dim lights, open blinds. There's an app that we've developed called iSelect by Clipsal. Now what that does is that gives you the ability to take a picture of your wall, any wall in your house. It brings it up onto the screen, and then you can select from our full range of any type of switch that you want. And you can actually drag it on there, put it over the top of your existing switch, or in this case it's a bare wall behind me. You can actually put the touch screen on there, expand it, see what it looks like, change the colours, change the styles. It's a really, really good bit of gear.
The artwork is also coming together.
This was out of the roof, so there were lengths of flat copper between the gullies and the roof and what have you. I had a pretty clear brief from Nadia. It had to be an 8. I like the idea of riveting copper, that sort of steampunk look, and especially with the patina to it. It's an 8, but it's actually a single ribbon looping around, and it'll all be one piece.
Almost 6 months later, and we meet Peter and Nadia in front of their neighbour's yard. You'll soon understand why it's taken 6 months to get to this point. Why are we meeting here? What's
Okay, wait till we show you. This is our only access.
Wow, this is tight.
I know, this is the access. So this is the narrow, it's about 830.
Everything's coming through here.
Everything.
All your appliances, all your products, the stone.
At the moment, we have no access from the front, having knocked down the garage.
Yeah.
But
beautiful people.
they've been beautiful, and all they've said is, we know that you would do it for us if we were in the same position.
Wow.
Neil and Bernice, they're an amazing couple. So we can't wait to share a bottle of wine with them and thank them personally in our home.
It's starting to take shape.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know, it's stunning. We're loving it.
They're just finishing the lift shaft at the moment.
Yep.
And once we've waterproofed the garage area, the lift can come in, the services can come in, and pretty much then everything else is in the final finishing stages.
The kitchen benches look absolutely fantastic. It's almost like a concrete look you got going there.
Yeah, it looks exactly like concrete, but no, it's not. It's a product called Decton, and it's out of Spain.
It's completely non-porous. You can't damage it with, hot pots. They can come straight off the stove.
You drop something on, it's not going to break?
Not going to break,
Wow.
won't scratch. So we're very excited. We may be the first house in Australia. We understand we're either one of the first house or the first house in Australia to use the product.
Absolutely incredible build. I don't think there's been a build like it in Australia, to be honest, has it really?
Well, I'd like to agree with you. All the elements will start coming together. A lot of people go, oh, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? But as it all gets revealed in the end, you'll see why the rustic finishes blend in with the Spanish tiles and then the sandstone, etc.
Yeah.
So we're just really trying to soften this very tall building.
Yep.
And that was always my goal at the beginning, is to soften this.
Well, not long now. After the break, we can finally reveal the finished home. Well, the day is finally here and I catch up with Nadia for a tour of the finished home. Okay, you are in, finally.
Yes.
It's been a struggle.
Building is always a struggle, but you get a great prize at the end.
And what you've done here is just so beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, coming here through the process, it was always a beautiful sight. And I just thought today when I was going to arrive, I thought, well, I've seen it before. But when I arrived up in the lift and I saw the view, it was just as special as the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
In fact, even more special because it's so well furnished now. Being in for a while, test driving it, you still find little wonders that you didn't know were going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very visual person, so every single angle has a different aspect on the property and different lighting and, you know, a leaf here or a tree there or colours there and a bit of furniture there. I just love looking around everywhere.
The views.
Yes.
Do you tire of them?
Never. Absolutely never. There's so many outdoor spaces here to enjoy. We're facing south, so therefore when the winds and the storms come, it just rolls in. But if we want to get away from that, we either watch the storm from inside or go to the back where it's all sheltered and it's facing north.
Okay. Is that why the pool's at the back there?
That's right. It's always sunny.
It's a house of love in so many ways.
It is.
Because you and your husband, this is the first property you've done together.
Yes, the first project we've done together. This is something I normally do myself,
Yep.
But Peter was quite involved in this and
It's been such a journey for you as well.
Yeah, it's been, lots of tears, lots of laughter, but now lots of joy.
Yeah.
So there's we always laugh because, we say there's a spot everywhere to have a lovely glass of wine together.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
whether it's at the back or downstairs or in our room or, or in that big bathtub, There's this particular design that I like to create, and that's contemporary coastal living. I love modern furniture and I love mixing it in with rustic finishes. As you can see, the floorboards are very rough looking and very rustic. And then you've got the lift, which is all glass and very contemporary.
The basement garage, I mean, I know it's to house cars, but really, it could be an art gallery down there. It's just so beautiful the way it's lit. And with the rock.
Yeah, we love the rock, yes. Look, it has been a massive exercise, and thank goodness for our engineer, Richard Webber. Richard Webber was right there from the beginning. We wouldn't have purchased this home without his advice, because he said to us, yes, this is possible, because it was a very daunting project for anybody, even for builders. But he gave us the thumbs up to say, yes, we can do this together. And thank goodness Richard's been there from day one and even up to now. And so,
I mean, I think he's one of Australia's top engineers in this field, isn't he?
He is. He's also a lecturer at Sydney Uni. And I don't know, I think he's loved by so many people.
The kitchen product you're using on the bench is really unique.
It is.
This is indestructible.
Fabulous. It's fabulous. Honestly, I recommend it for everybody. And the reason being is because you're always worried about putting a glass of red wine on marble or Caesar stone or whatever it is. But this, sometimes I can't be bothered to pull out the chopping board. So I'll actually know that the bench is clean, but I'll start chopping on there.
It can do that?
Yeah. It's actually can be a chopping board. It can get a screwdriver and scratch it, no scratches. And I get a really hot, all the trays from the oven straight on there.
And if you're wondering what will work best in your kitchen, you can check out this awesome app from Cosatino. The technology in this home is pretty cutting edge. It's a C-bus system, isn't it?
That's right. It's C-bus, which is from Clipsal. Both my husband and I aren't techie people. So when it was introduced to us, we're like, I said to the electrician, I don't know that that's us. I just want to be able to turn on a button and know it comes on. And he's going, no, this home deserves this kind of quality in the electronics. And then, honestly, now that we have it, I can't live without it.
There's so much about this home that I just think is just such a miracle. First of all, it was a block of flats, and can I say a really ugly block of flats.
Yes,
and
it was.
just look at it now.
Yes, thank you.
Well, Nadia, thank you so much for allowing us to come on the journey. It's just such a beautiful home.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it too.
Well, there you have it. This was a one-of-a-kind project that needed the best of the best to be involved to get it right. The engineering, the design, the expertise to pull it off were all crucial in this build. One depended on the other for success against seemingly impossible challenges. But when you have a vision and a potential location like this, the rewards have been definitely worth the challenge.